I'm Reed Cowan, live at the Castro Theater. Hope, Love, Pride as we kick off Pride 2023. And we got some connections. Look who's here. You hear live from Manny and the icon, Jane Fonda, about what it means to be an activist and an ally when I come back.
All right, our Reed Cowan has been there all afternoon to kick off this special event in Pride Month. And Reed, hello to you. I know there's some star power right now in the Castro that you're going to introduce us to.
Yes, indeed. And you know, we are talking about hope, love, and pride. And I have a question for somebody who's here tonight, the icon, Jane Fonda. What's a nice gal like you doing in a place like this tonight?
I'm here because of this man.
This is Manny.
This is Manny. Manny is a very famous person in San Francisco. And
you put that on your LinkedIn page, Manny.
We had a rendezvous last fall.
Yes.
At his place to talk about the Jane Fonda Climate Pack, only I kept throwing up on him.
Uh-oh.
And ended up in the hospital. He was kind enough to forgive me and asked me for a second chance here in the Castro Theater. So I'm pretty excited.
Icon comes to the stage at an iconic place. Not only are we talking about LGBTQ month and why it's so important, but also the importance of being an ally and an activist. In this climate, how do we have hope?
Oh, to have hope is a muscle. It's very different than optimism. Hope, you gotta look for action and hope will come. If you go out and do something concrete to support the LGBTQ community, you'll be hopeful. You'll lose your depression.
Climate activism, something so close to your heart. We've seen you in Washington, D.C. many, many times. How important is it for communities that are on the margins to gather together to support mutual initiatives?
It's the most important thing of all. You know, especially since the 70s and 80s with Reagan, we've become a very individualized culture. And it couldn't be a more unfortunate thing to happen right now because we're facing collective crises and they require collective solutions. So we have to stand together. You know, the LGBTQ community with the climate community with the healthcare system, for example, because this is going to have the climate crisis is going to have such an impact on people's health, families' health. They have to join us too.
And Manny, why is it so important as we kick off Pride to have Jane Fonda here?
I think because Jane Fonda teaches us that the work is never over, right? She's been doing this for literally her whole life, since 1970, which isn't her whole life, but practically her whole life. And
she's my age.
She's an inspiration to folks who care about making the world a better place. And so she's a beacon for all of us, folks who care about the LGBT community, the environmental community. All of the issues are linked within her very body here. She is a physical representation of activism, and we're living in a time where our rights are not guaranteed, the future is not guaranteed, and there's an assault on our liberties. And so what better way to start Pride by having a conversation with the one and only Jane Fonda herself.
And you know something that I learned since I started Fire Drill Fridays was if there was no homophobia, if there was no patriarchy, if there was no racism, there'd be no climate crisis. It's part of a mindset. And so solving the climate crisis includes solving a mindset that says some people are more worthy than others, some people are expendable because of who they prefer to have sex with or what the color of their skin or their gender. This has to change.
Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. We appreciate it so much. An iconic moment. Thank you. And when I go off camera, I'm going to ask this question. Is Dolly Parton on your cell phone and can we call her? Back to you.
Oh, you are so great. And
a really crazy climate
I thought she was going to
We'll be
get the
watching
phone
for
number.
it.
I was waiting for the phone number. All right. Thank you so much, Reed, and for your special guest today.